It's the big turning point on this channel. We've been focusing on the third week of September as a big turning point for Bitcoin and probably the rest of the cryptocurrency market, led by traditional markets, of course, as well. And, well, we are exactly at that time right now. And what do you know? Bitcoin back above 63,000 bucks, turning around, and we have a few setups in the background, as you can see. Before we get to that, I do want to say a massive thank you, a massive thank you, a heartfelt thank you to all the people and all the support for the fight night last night. That was awesome, man. Fucking super awesome to see on the live streams, in the Discord, of course, in the venue as well. Shout out to all of you guys. You guys are fucking amazing. I wish it's a little bit less of a hugging match than what it was. My coach had me well disciplined, however, and we played out our game plan. But I really wanted that guy to come out in the fourth, because right before the fourth, my coach was like, "Okay, all right, you have the green light now. If you want to go full speed and you want to knock him out, go ahead." But alas, he wouldn't come out. So it is what it is, but we probably have another match, hopefully relatively soon. Anyways, let's get into the actual content of the day. So where do I want to start this one off? There's so many things to be speaking about here. I suppose we can start off with actually this setup, because it's typically the more sexy thing to be looking at. This is the 5-day, 5 exponential moving average setup. Very, very simple setup. It is playing in alignment with the daily setup as well, or of the same variety. And as you can see, this one did fire off about early this week, and well, I wasn't actually making videos during that time because I was traveling and all this stuff, so I wasn't able to call it out in the moment. But if you have been following the strategy, which I know many people have, well, you probably took that entry right there. And as you can see, so far so good, as the first closure was above about 58,200 on that entry. Now Bitcoin trading just above 63. Now here's the thing with this particular setup: it does not have a super high strike rate. It's just above 40%, as you can see right here, but it does have an extremely high profit factor. Now, I would say that this setup is a little bit, or at least these results are definitely heavily influenced by the early portion right here, where we saw some pretty massive gains. So what I want to do is I want to go to the deep back testing and only test the time from about 2015, a little bit more modern period, to current times, and you can see that the equity curve here, again, still pretty damn good. It has these big legs up and then kind of consolidates itself and continues to leg up again. And that's exactly what we've seen actually in this past consolidation. A couple big wins right here, of course, or actually a few big wins right here, of course. And then it has these small losses that we saw in the past month, giving it back. So it does look like this one's likely ready to go. I suspect that this is going to be the one that does push things to the limits. We can see that the average winning trade with this strategy has been just over 35.33%, and the average losing trade, to be fair as well, because we're not there just yet, is about 580. But let's see what that looked like in terms of price action, and then we'll come up with some timing factors for that as well. But 33% from that entry would put Bitcoin where? That would put Bitcoin in the deep $70,000 territory, somewhere around about 78,000 bucks. And let's find what the average time is expected for these. That would be 10 bars in the winning trade. So that would be 50 days. 50 days from now, or actually 50 days from that was earlier this week, which would put us into the 1st of November. So sometime around November, that heart of Q4, which is typically a good seasonal time for Bitcoin, is when we would kind of expect this move to find its totality, which I suppose is good. This, like I said, is very much in alignment with the daily setup right here. The daily setup, if I turn off the deep back tester again, this one a little bit lower hit rate, 32, just over 32.5%. Profit factor decent, but overall the equity curve moves up to the right. Again, probably heavily influenced by these earlier samples. So I'm going to test the time from 2015 to current time, and as you can see, yeah, still pretty damn good, I would say. Into the performance summary we go, and this one also showing winning trade, or average winning trade, at about 11.25% versus average losing trade about 2.5%. And this one actually just fired off, I believe, or well, again, earlier this week it just fired off on Tuesday. So let's see what this one would kind of suggest. In the more short term, it's just about an 11% move, 67.5 thousand bucks, which is actually rather important because that would bring Bitcoin back above its last lower high officially, and we expect that in about 10 days from that entry. So, again, these are averages. There's going to be some variance in there. There's always like comments like, what the fuck, didn't play exactly at the average? Like, yes, it's an average, okay? Somewhere above, somewhere below, okay? It averages out over time. But 10 days would put us into basically the end, the very, very end, the very tippy top of September right there. So far, so good. Anyways, I want to go over a few more technicals here too. I need to make sure that I get my damn, where is my phone? Elsa, do you have my phone? No, it's right here. Okay. I found it. All right, let me just get out my note. I have to do this in like the most fucked up way possible because I don't have my usual setup, obviously. But let's go over here. Let me just make sure I can find everything. Okay, yes. Where is my notes app? There we go. All right, fine. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Yes. Okay, today is a quad witching, by the way. CME also closing the weekly out today as well, and we did call out this 5-day hidden bullish divergence that was forming actually around the midpoint of September. Now, now playing out. And as we went over, or maybe I made a Twitter post about this, just a really simple thing right here. You know, the last lower high for Bitcoin was right around about $64,000 on CME, or let's do it exactly right. Whoops, go to the weekly perhaps. Yeah, on the weekly right here, let's get it exactly right. It's about 64,500, almost to the dot. That is the last lower high on not just the daily, the 5-day, the weekly, all these very important time frames. And the second that Bitcoin trades back above there, you know, to me, that is just full on confirmation that this last, 7 months of price action is mature enough as a consolidation and, you know, ready to move its way to the upside. It's not just like looking like it's bullish, it like quite literally is, as we do have an actual reversal at that point. So still have some time to go, obviously, but Bitcoin kind of doing what it needs to do at the right times, getting signals like this right here on the 5-day, also bouncing off of that sort of neutral zone on the 5-day RSI. On top of that, we do see that if I go over here to the 5-day time frame on CME, again closing, or actually not closing today, but still of relevance, we can see that it is turning back up as long as Bitcoin's above 59,300. Weekly time frame also turning up above 59,450. 2-week time frame, which is also closing today, by the way, for CME, is also gonna very likely turn up today, assuming Bitcoin does close above $63,000. And the monthly probably not going to turn on this one, although I mean, if it does, we need to see Bitcoin above 64,500. So things are kind of shaping up around the time. This is why coming into the midpoint of September, I did think that it was better to be, you know, defensive, if you will. But after the midpoint, you know, we do expect upside based off of many things that we went over actually in yesterday's video. But this, you know, it's just kind of playing out in the way that I think bulls want to see it go. I suppose last thing here, it's not super relevant for right now, but just to be aware of, Bitcoin on the monthly it will have a chance certainly to reclaim that red 5 exponential moving average, which is about 61,800. So, you know, as of right now, it's still got 10 days left to go. A lot can happen between now and then, but you know, looking better than not. And again, as we do kind of expect based off of those quad witching statistics, you know, the back half, or especially the back 10 days or so of September, are generally more upside angled than not. So overall, you know, things are looking good at the right time. And of course, traditional markets have new all-time highs on top of that, as we went over in an earlier video this week. That was kind of the key. In fact, that was really the key in this whole last month, or sorry, 2 months since that August dump, because traditional markets were just a little bit more obviously putting in a major low here, which was likely to influence the rest of the market. So yeah, other than that, don't really have too much to add, but I would like to once again say a massive thank you to everyone for coming on out. All the people that I met at the event, holy shit, man, there's so many people coming from all sorts of places, Malaysia, all places in Europe, even America. Fucking crazy, dude, absolutely crazy. But yeah, looking forward to the next one, and we will shut it off there. As always, like to wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully next time.